Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. Today, we're going to take a look at a very cool release, another double album from the Norwegian prog/psychedelic rock trio Motorpsycho. It's titled The All Is One. Okay, of course, this is the third part in the trilogy called the Gullvåg trilogy. All right, that started off in 2017 with The Tower. Okay, continued on in 2019, I believe was that last year, The Crucible. All right, here we've got the finale, The All Is One, double disc set, just under 90 minutes of music. All right, so lots to take in here. I've actually had this for a little while, just been trying to digest the whole thing, and it's a pretty cool release. What I love about these guys is they're making fresh modern music, but with a healthy kind of nod to the 70s and the 80s, right? So you've got loads of classic prog on here. You got lots of like late 60s, early 70s psychedelia, as well as, they throw a little bit of, I don't know what you call it, 70s hard rock, 80s hard rock, little bits of stoner references here and there, but more importantly, just really good, engaging, dramatic, melodic, progressive rock for the most part, right? But very accessible. So the trio in the band, in case you're not familiar with them, you've got Bent Seither, I believe that's how he says his name, on lead vocals, bass, guitars, keyboards, and drums. You've got Hans Magnus Ryan, okay, on lead guitars, also vocals, keyboards, mandolin, violin, and bass. And then Tomas Jarmir on drums and vocals. Okay, so you got everybody singing, everybody playing loads of instruments and what have you. Got a couple guest stars on the album. You got Rain Fisk on guitars, okay, or contribute some guitar here and there, don't know exactly where. Lars Horntveth on saxophones and clarinet, and Ola Kvenberg on violin. Okay, and this was released in August on Rune Gramophone label, okay, which is a Norwegian label, home to a lot of really cool like avant-garde and prog and jazz fusion stuff. We've talked about various releases on that label. In fact, Rain Fiske, he's been involved in quite a few of them. So really good stuff. All right, so let's take a look at the album here first of all. All right, or the CD set, I should say. So, okay, you got all the tracks, and you open it up. And you've got all sorts of album information on each side of the discs in here. Okay. So, 13 tracks in total, spread out across 2 CDs. Roughly, it's about 42, 43 minutes per disc, thereabouts. The middle of the CD, and so this is a really interesting album here. So you've got, it kicks off with a couple of, on the shorter-ish songs. Okay, you got the title track, The All Is One, The Same Old Rock and Roll, The Magpie, and Delusion. Okay, all of those fluctuate between 3 and 9 minutes long, basically, right? So, all good tracks. All Is One. There's, I got to get it out of the way right off the bat. There are various hints. They don't sound like a copycat by any means, but there are various hints at like 70s yes sprinkled throughout this album. And again, it's not in an overbearing way by any means. Occasionally the vocals are a little higher pitched, sound a little bit like John Anderson. Occasionally, it's not throughout. Occasionally, Ryan's guitars are very kind of angular and looping, kind of like Steve Howe. You got, the layers of keyboards. You got loads of Mellotron on here and Hammond organ and synths and all sorts of stuff. And there's just this kind of like almost, happy feel about a lot of the arrangements and about a lot of the vocal harmonies that bring to mind Yes a little bit. So it's not a clear-cut Yes copy of an album by any means, but that influence is here. I love when they rock out a bit like this. There's some good rocking stuff on here. The All Is One is a good upbeat prog rocker. The same old rock. Okay, also it rocks, right? Pretty engaging song, some really good guitar riffs on that. You got the Magpie, which is really lush and kind of orchestral, reminds me of like classic late 60s Moody Blues. if you like that sort of thing. Then you've got the centerpiece of the album. So this is really interesting. So the album starts and ends with a bunch of shorter pieces, but the whole middle section, which comprises the bulk of disc 1 and the bulk of disc 2, is the big epic Nox, N-O-X. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts in total. It's roughly about 40 minutes. So it's, or just over 40 minutes. So it's about like exactly half of this entire double disc set's time length. Okay. All sorts of interesting things coming here, and it's broken down into parts. You got Circles Around the Sun, Part 1, Ouroboros, Strange Loop, Ascension, Night of Pan, and Circles Around the Sun, Part 2. Really cool stuff on here. And there's, like I said, that fluctuates between kind of spacey rock, like Night of Pan starts off almost this kind of like Tangerine Dream, Hawkwind style thing with like all these bleeping synths and what have you, and then it like morphs into this nice chunky rocker. Circles Around the Sun Part 2. In Circles Around the Sun Part 1 and Ouroboros, you've got like, Mellotron, all these dramatic keyboards, lots of really good vocal harmonies, really good piece. And it just kind of, for me, it kind of sucks that like you've got this track, this long epic piece spread out over the course of 2 CDs. I think for me, it would have made a hell of a lot more sense to do it all on one disc. Okay, so you got the whole thing in its continuity, right? Rather than split it up. But whatever, I didn't create the album. It's still cool. Either way, that would have made more sense to me. But then, you got some of these, the shorter tracks are damn good. Like A Little Light, fantastic, very melodic. Dreams of Fancy, very, very proggy, very symphonic. You got the Dowser, and then the very cool closer Light Chrome. All right, so like I said, a lot of good guitar layers, acrobatic bass, just like you like it. A lot of nods to classic bands of the 70s, but like I said, there is a modern feel to this. All right, especially when the band rocks out a bit. Okay, lots of groove, lots of good chunky riffing. Okay, they're kind of, the band appreciates the whole stoner rock movement, so you got little bits and pieces of that in here, but most importantly, this is just a really good, melodic, memorable progressive rock album, as only the guys from Norway can do, right? So we just talked about the brand new Wobbler the other day, and now we've got this hot on the heels, right? 2 of the strongest prog releases I've heard this year coming from Norway. Gotta love it, man. What's going on over in Norway and Sweden these days? Seems like some of the best music is coming out of Scandinavia, right? I'm telling you, just fantastic. So there you have it. The All Is One from Motorpsycho. If you have not heard The Crucible or The Tower, which were the 2 parts preceding this as part of the trilogy, you gotta kind of hear them all in one. All right, gotta hear them all at one time. I would say go out and get those, get this, and then just play them back to back to back. Just fantastic stuff. A really cool band, like I said, that combines like the best of prog rock and psychedelic rock, a little bits of stoner and hard rock. Great stuff. Really, really good band that I think deserves to be known by more people, especially here in North America. So check it out and visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. If you like what you see, please do hit the Ko-Fi link below in the video's description. We've also got the link to our merch page as well, so help contribute to the channel if you can. Greatly appreciate everything you do. Coming up tonight, got Stephen Reed all the way from Scotland coming back on the show to, of course, talk about, along with myself, the brand new release from former lead singer of Marillion Fish. That's coming up tonight, so you'll get 2 for the price of 1, both of us talking about this new album. So that's coming up tonight. We've got Friday. Martin Popoff and I are going to rank the studio albums of none other than XTC. Chris Allo and I will also be at some point this week. We haven't set a date yet, but that's coming up over the next couple days. We'll be ranking the studio catalog of Nightwish. Don't want to miss that. Coming up, hopefully next week, Chris and I will also be ranking the studio catalog of Epica. Simon Bray from the UK coming back on the show. We will be ranking the studio catalog of Atlanta Rhythm Section for all you Southern rock fans. We've got also new releases here that we haven't gotten to yet, but we will. New live album from Redemption. New studio album from Gaspacho. What else we got here? We got the new Pretty Things. We got so much stuff sitting around here waiting to do. And I think, Well, I'm not going to spoil any more beans because we got more stuff coming. I should be getting some more Monsters Den episodes coming in soon too. I know that now that Halloween's done, you know, we did the big craze for Halloween. We'll still be delivering them to you, but not as fast and furious as we did in October. But all sorts of things happening, guys. So stay tuned for it all. Lots more ranking the album shows coming up. Just got a couple big ones that are just waiting to get out of the way, so I can kind of dive into some more stuff. So you know, like Pentagram and Candlemass and Saint Vitus. I know so many of you have been asking for doom bands. We got that coming up. Mata Hoople's another one that I'm going to be really diving into over the next couple of weeks. So you can look forward to that as well. All right, guys. So we'll see you real soon. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends. Come back often. Make sure you hit that the notifications button. Right. I want to make sure that every time we post a video, you get notified via email that we've got a new video, because we get a lot of people who I don't think are doing that, and I get questions every day. Pete, when are you going to do a video on this? Pete, when are you going to cover this band? When are you going to cover this band? It's like, well, I did it last week. I did it 3 days ago. I did it last month. Use our playlist, people. Before you start typing and asking about stuff, go check first. We've got well over 1,000 videos here on the channel, 6+ years of activity on YouTube, so there's tons of stuff here. I've covered so much, so check it out. And don't forget, next Monday, Hudson Valley Squares. I know you guys love the Hudson Valley Squares, so that's coming up next Monday, along with Steve Keeler, Ryan Scow, Nick Franco, and Chris Allo. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys later on, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.